what I feel like running and what I actually look like running are two very different things. So part of this experiment is for me to see myself the way the world sees me, which I'm going to eat some Mike and Ike's. I've done an 80 minutes so far. The goal is to do 2 hours. So the running through town and seeing myself in the windows, I feel strong when I'm running. But when I look at myself, I see an old lady with hunchback shoulders that looks like the world has beaten her down, that is having a hard time standing straight and running straight. And it makes me sad. So, what I want you to know is I don't feel like that. Don't feel sorry for me. And when I'm out running, I feel strong and young. I feel accomplished. I feel mighty. I feel like I'm doing something that not a lot of people can do. That I'm an overachiever. Boy, these Mike and Ike's are spicy. And they're tropicals. I have multiple realities going on. So there was a possibility of buying some spicy things that were gummies at the store yesterday, and I did not want them. So my mind has decided that it was going to give me spicy Mike and Ike's no matter what. So one of the things about these things that they call mental illnesses and religions call God or spirits, evil spirits or good spirits, good helpers, bad helpers, is that I've chosen a route that is somewhere in between of that, which is a World Health Communication System that quite often gets taken over by powers that want to use it for power. And as we know, communication in our world is a tool of influence and a tool of commanding something other than yourself to do something. So, good morning. So with the World Health Communication Systems and being able to hear people that I don't see, is that we run into dangers of their voices being used in your life as them trying to navigate you with the steering wheel that they have. So your amount of trust in their leadership and guidance a lot of times has to be one of those, assess them first. And the religion teaches you to assess what your behavior is when you hear them, not necessarily what they're trying to get you to do, and not necessarily anything else other than your response to them. If they get you out of the house and take you away from your family, they are considered bad for you. That is not a good tool. That is not a good way to do it. And you have to do the navigation of putting yourself back with your family by ignoring them and giving them no kind of tool over you. My advice is to start teaching something out loud that you know, that to teach other people, to walk out how to make a sandwich, that you are going to start walking out the instructions of what you do and how you do it, and verbalize what you want, what you are thinking, and what you are doing. Christians call it, let God know what your thoughts are. God wants to know your prayers as to what you want Him to do and that kind of thing. Not because God wants to do it for you, but God wants to distinguish your voice from the other voices that claim to be you, that claim to be navigating themselves as you, when He is hearing from the angels. So making sure that God knows your voice, your heart, your mind, and your wishes isn't necessarily so He can fulfill them or so that the world can, but to be able to distinguish you from others. So that is a word of thought for the day. And we are at 1 hour and 31 minutes. I got 31 more minutes to go. I'm not worried about running this whole thing. So today is about getting some running in, but getting the time in. So we have about a 6-hour window that I want to be running, exercising by November, and working my head into being able to do that for 6 hours straight is the biggest hurdle of it. As far as the movement of it, I've been doing that already on a daily basis, so throughout the day. So it's not necessarily a can I physically do it, but it's can I mentally do 6 hours at one time without pulling my hair out. So it's a bit of a just need to do it to get it in. I do prefer to run it, and I do prefer to run it rather than walk it, just because it just seems so slow. So anyway, that is the how you see me versus how I feel. So when you're looking at people, is know that the person inside that shell is not necessarily the person that you see on the outside. That when you see an old, feeble man that can barely walk, but is out walking 3 miles a day, that he is not an old, feeble man. He is a wise warrior that is out tackling 3 miles of difficult terrain, as well as a Navy soldier would be doing on the beaches in the sand barefoot. So treating those people that way is about looking in there and finding it. That's the fun part, is pulling that part out of there and getting it to the surface so that you can see it, but more so the world knows it's there. It's important. So no, it doesn't mean I don't like your shell, or that your shell doesn't tell a story or the story, but it doesn't tell your real story. It tells the story of the world through you. So I like to find the story of the person who walked the earth to let the world tell a story through their body. And that's kind of fun. But it takes a lot of listening, and it takes a lot of pauses so that that person can stick their head out like a turtle and show you what's in there. So have a wonderful Monday in the sun. Ooh, this camera. Yowza, did I overexpose myself? Ah! Overexposed.